Hello everybody and welcome to DRL TV. This is your host James Pandoff. As always, this is the DRL Pro Series live at Daytona. This is a preseason race, however, there's no points on the line, just a bunch of drivers getting to know one another as we head into a long season of short track racing ahead of us. With me is Taylor, Butch, and Benjamin. How are you, Taylor?
I'm doing pretty well, James. Not too many people in here, only about 14, but like you said, some of them are new to this series and getting to know the guys who we're usually accustomed to, so they should adapt pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely, and 14 drivers on this size of track might look pretty small, but once we get to the short tracks, less than half a mile, it'll be pretty packed house racing going on. But right now it looks like Ryan Hesgard is fastest on the board. Matthew Kleinsman is second, followed by Ben Izenga, and Bill Edwards is fourth. Let me see if I can pull in Sean Kerr, one of the newer drivers of the league, and see what he has to say, what he thinks about tonight's race.
I see him up here in race chat. I got him.
All right.
Here we go.
Sean Kerr, this is the broadcast booth. How are you?
I'm alright.
So you're new to Dynasty Racing League, so we just want to say welcome to the league. And what are your thoughts on tonight's race? What are you expecting?
Well, honestly, we don't have that much people, considering it's a super speedway, but I think it'll be interesting nonetheless anyway. Not a lot of factors come into a super speedway like tires. Tires don't necessarily matter in super speedways as of this iRacing build, but we should get some pack racing going on. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to the 2-3 wide racing. Being that you are new to the league, have you talked to anybody? Do you have any strategy, any friendships going on for this race to get you to the front and possibly a win?
I don't necessarily know anybody in here, so I'm hoping they're all just going to be nice to me and just keep up with the pack with me. Hopefully they'll work with me. So that's all I'm really counting on.
Alright, sounds good. Well, good luck tonight. Hopefully you can avoid the big one and get yourself a solid finish.
Yeah, that's my main goal tonight.
Alrighty, hope to talk to you later.
Alright.
And that... Oh, go on, Taylor. And that was Sean Kerr, driver the number 1, new to Dynasty Racing League. Hope to see a lot out of him this season. He's looking forward to the K&N car, and hopefully we'll see him next season in a Cup or Grand National Series.
And like he mentioned, the tires don't really mean that much here. We point that out because starting this for this winter, we're adapting a 2 sets of tire, well, essentially 8 tires overall rules. So basically, you can change 4 tires twice and 2 tires 4 times. Just another element of strategy to mix into everything out there.
Absolutely. This will be a new strategy involved tactic, this 8 tire limit. As we are now under 5 minutes left in practice, it looks like most of the guys have settled down in pits, just waiting to do their qualifying run. Let's see who else we could pull in for an interview. Let's pull in Cyrus Jackson. Let's see what he has to say. At the Truck Series Talladega race, he finished second, so he might be looking for that first win out of Play Track.
I got him. Hey, Cyrus Jackson, it's the broadcast booth. You got us?
Cyrus Jackson, you got a copy? Looks like he might have stepped away, so we'll put him back and we'll find somebody else. Let's get Richard Springer. He won last week in the Grand National Series. He has now locked himself into Homestead.
And quite a thrilling finish, I must say. The top two, James Lorello, Clay Phillips, got the beating and banging on each other coming to the finish, and Richard Springer beat them both to the line. I got him. There, Mr. Springer, you got a copy?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, we're excited to get this underway. I know last week at Kansas, you kind of stole a win there at the end. How are you feeling about tonight, though?
As long as somebody can drive straight down the track, I can push them. So we'll see how that goes.
You got anybody in particular you're going to plan to draft with?
Oh, no plans. The plans just got thrown out the window as soon as the race starts here. So anybody that's fast that wants to run the high side, that's fine with me. I like the high side.
And we're looking forward to it. It's kind of like a Busch Clash type thing. 40 laps, only 14 drivers. It should be interesting. Well, good luck out there, and we'll have to talk to you later.
Hey, do you have any idea if we can go 40 laps on one tank of fuel or not?
I believe so.
It's 100 miles.
Yeah, it is 100 miles. Although I anticipate there'll probably be at least one caution, but I believe so.
Okay.
All right, we'll put you back down. Where were you?
You beat me.
Yeah, where were you at?
Bounty Hunter, I think. I don't know. Oh, no, Hammer Down, I think it is.
All right, I'll put you back down there, and I'll see you later.
All right, have a good broadcast.
All right.
And that was Richard Springer. He loves running that Woods Brothers scheme. I've seen him run it on the trucks, the Grand Nationals, and now I see it on the K&N car.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to see. We got quite a few neat schemes. Wade Hustad sporting an old mellow yellow Kyle Petty scheme. I saw Mike Lemon have an old Casey Atwood 2000 when he was in the Busch Series, just starting out that Castrol GTX scheme. That looks pretty cool. So we're just about winding down practice, and qualifying is about to begin.
Yeah, qualifying is going to be 2 laps wide open. The key is going to be running the first lap on the high line, getting all the momentum you can, and then on the second and final qualifying lap, you want to hug that yellow line as closely as you can and try to set the fastest lap of the field.
The thing about Daytona and Talladega is qualifying, although it does have some perks, I mean, it's not as important as like a mile and a half or a short track, because
yeah.
Caden Honeycutt. Well, looks like we got Spencer Tart that just joined the lobby, so that brings the total up to 15 drivers.
Wade Hustad's going out for his lap. He has a nice mellow yellow scheme. Reminds me of Days of Thunder.
And again, this is just a preseason, no points involved, so basically winner take all type thing. Our first points race will be next week, November the 4th at Rockingham for 100 laps. And that should be pretty interesting as far as the tire limit rule.
Yep, looking forward to it. Rockingham's an older track surface, nice and bumpy. It's good for some short track racing. These guys are going to have their hands full each and every lap.
As far as these K&N cars here, I guess because usually in the official series, they usually run the 07 version of Daytona where it's a lot bumpier. Here it's a lot smoother and quicker. So I'm sure they're looking forward to put down some fast laps here, as track temperature is 82 degrees, so it should be a lot of grip.
Yep. Speaking of that, it is, as you said, 82 degrees with overcast, so it's going to be a lot faster speed as these guys are pack racing. Only 1% humidity, and it is pretty windy. We got a southeasterly wind of 10 miles per hour, so that should be interesting. It's going to be pushing both with them and against them, so how the cars are going to handle is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, especially when these guys go 2 and 3 wide, see if they can handle it. And also, another quick mention is usually in the K&N series, in the official series, there is one quick repair that you can utilize. Not tonight.
Nope, it is no fast repair, so if you mess up, if you get damaged, if you're in the big one, which is going to be a high possibility at Daytona, your race will be over. However, although not tonight because it's 9 points, we do have bonus points if drivers stick around and try to finish out the races. Starting next week, the first official race of the season, we will be giving out those bonus points for drivers that do stick around to the end of the race. And Wade Hustad getting down on that apron as he crosses the line, trying to get as fast a lap as he can.
Oh, look at Tommy Bordeaux and Caden Honeycutt actually tie on time.
Yeah, I wonder who the tiebreaker is going to get given to. Gary Weaver, as he's on the yellow line, he's kind of drifting up. That's going to actually hurt his lap time, but he's coming out of 4 now to complete his lap. Siderius Jackson in that yellow Bojangles scheme. I like that scheme a lot. The yellow and red mixes well together. He's coming to complete his lap off the turn 4.
And he is, let's see, 5th on the board, or 601. When we were going to interview him, we were going to ask him because he finished 2nd in the truck race at Talladega, so he showed that he can get around these restrictor plate tracks pretty well.
I want to try one more time to get Siderius in here for a quick interview. Siderius Jackson, this is the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Hey man, so in the truck series at Talladega a couple of weeks ago, you finished 2nd. You're showing that you do have skill here at these plate tracks. What are you going to do tonight to possibly get that win?
Pretty much just be patient and stay out of trouble, and gotta have some look on my side also.
So there are some truck series drivers in this event. Are you going to be working with them, knowing not because you know them and are aware of how they drive their vehicles? Or are you going to be looking for someone like Sean Kerr, who is brand new to the league?
Probably a mixture of both, but anything that can help me move forward, I'm fine with that. But if it comes down to, do I have to decide between a truck series driver or a new driver, I really don't mind if it's like the last lap. If I can get the win, I don't care.
Alright, man, sounds good. Well, 5th place on the grid, that's a pretty good position. Good luck in this race, and hope to talk to you soon.
Alright, thank you.
Alrighty, so it looks like Tommy Bordeaux does get the tiebreaker, and he will be the pole sitter. Let's get him in for an interview as they do their warm-up pace lap before we get green.
They're getting last-second instructions from our race control, Eric Weatherholtz.
Tommy Bordeaux, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. How's it going?
Well, it looks like you and Caden Honeycutt actually tied for the pole, but you were awarded the tiebreaker. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, first is a whole lot different than second, even if it is tied. So we'll see how it ends up. You know, it's a 40-lap race here. There's plenty of time to lose it, that's for sure. So yeah, it should be interesting.
Do you have any strategy heading into tonight's event?
Personally, for me, I'm going to try and keep this TommyBordeaux.com Chevy Impala up front. I think that's where you want to be for this race, especially it is kind of shorter. Avoid the chaos behind you and just skip out away to the lead.
Taylor, I believe you were going to say something.
I was going to say, because you mentioned in chat, as Kyle Petty would say, that's incredible for the time with Caden. I agree that the place to be is up front. We'll certainly be watching. Good luck out there, bud.
Thank you guys very much for putting on the race. I'm looking forward to put on a good show.
Alright, talk to you later. As we finish through the running, the grid order, I'll go through that one more time for those who might have missed it. Tommy Bordeaux is first, Caden Honeycutt is second, Richard Springer is third, Mike Lemon is fourth, Cyrus Jackson fifth, Matthew Kleinsmith sixth, Wade Hustad is seventh, Gary Weaver is eighth. As the pace car pulls off, I'm going to let the
pretty well strung out start a little bit. Looks like somebody's dropping way back. Spencer Tart is starting complete the road. Bill Edwards is dropping back from the field, perhaps just to avoid a calamity.
And Tommy Bordeaux now has a car-length lead. However, that outside line is not working. Caden Honeycutt on the outside line, the leader of that line. He now has a slight advantage, but the inside line is the shorter way around the track. So Tommy Bordeaux now pulls away with Richard Springer behind him.
Yeah, both lines, it's going to be interesting to see which one actually works, because as we see a couple guys who didn't qualify make their way on the pit road for a pass-through penalty.
Yep, Alec Martinez and Bill Edwards are taking that pass-through penalty now, as Tommy Bordeaux led the first lap of this preseason race at Daytona. Now this is a completely different package than what these guys are used to. The K&N car has a similar drafting package to the 2000-2001 Cup Series. It has a little tiny splitter across the horizontal across the roof of the car, which helps create a better suck up to the car in front of them.
Springer pops out of line, starts to get that outside moving a little bit. He led that lap.
These guys do not want to settle down. They are going for the lead, and they want it.
I mean, like we mentioned, no points involved. It's basically win or go home. I mean, so why not race it out?
And Cyrus Jackson already moving up to second behind Tommy Bordeaux.
I'm going to be curious, because that outside line usually seems to work a lot better on the straightaway, but in the corner the inside seems to prevail. As they're coming to the line, complete lap 3, looks like Bordeaux got that one. It's just that that inside line gets so much checkup. Richard Springer looked like one of the side drafts a little bit. Got 3 cars behind this group, including Ben Izenga, Dustin Jones, and Ryan Hedgard, that are kind of looking like they just want to ride for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they like what they see, that there might be a wreck, and that they're trying to be able to avoid it so they can survive to the end of this race.
Oh, as Cyrus Jackson pushes up off the bottom a little bit. Mike Lemon almost down under the yellow line.
It looks like the outside line is starting to deteriorate, and it's only Richard Springer and Caden Honeycutt really on the outside, but they are hanging tough.
Springer right on that right rear quarter panel. Tommy Bordeaux. The only thing, I mean, Caden Honeycutt's got to make sure he continues to be locked onto that bumper Springer, or else that outside line is just going to fall back.
And we're taking a glimpse at the chopper cam. We'll be able to see how much these cars are actually moving, and it is quite a handful each and every lap. But it looks like Sidarius Jackson and Tommy Bordeaux have a 2-car breakaway as Richard Springer and that outside line is falling back.
It's a combination of just the air moving around these cars and the 10-mile-an-hour wind out of the southeast.
Oh, Sidarius Jackson below the line.
Perhaps he doesn't really like what he sees. He might be dropping to the back.
I hope so, because they aren't letting him up on the track. That could be cause for concern. Oh,
gosh.
wow. He is able to...
He's going to lose the draft, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened exactly. If he got pushed out of the line. He might have been overheating. He just ducked down below the yellow line. Wasn't pushed or didn't get loose. It looked like he just needs some air to that grill.
Yeah, that's something else we're going to follow tonight, based on how these guys are pushing each other. Although it is relatively not quite so warm out there. I mean, if you're tucked up behind somebody for too long, the engine will just overheat.
Caden Honeycutt now leading. The outside line is making a push. It looks like Caden has a nice donut on the side of that car, so he's been rubbing with somebody.
Yeah, I see some fender damage on the left front, but he leads that lap with help from Matt Kleinschmidt. Sidarius Jackson after that situation, 2 seconds a lap off the pack, so he needs a caution to catch up.
Caden Honeycutt and Matthew Kleinsman have dropped down to the inside lane, leaving Wade Hustad stuck on the outside. And Wade Hustad finds his way into the inside. However, Matthew Kleinsman gets stuck on the outside now.
Okay. Well, now here comes Springer, trying to pop out of line. We're already on lap 9 out of 40 here. Oh, contact!
Oh, there's the big one. Wade Hustad in it.
Well, fortunately, it looked like most everybody else survived besides Hustad and Richard Springer. That could have been a lot bigger than what it was.
Let's see. Let's see if we can get a replay on that.
Too close and hooked him in the right rear.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like, and I believe Wade Hustad's day will be done.
Yeah, there's definitely no fixing that one. Really lucky. I mean, there's about 3 or 4 cars that went completely under Hustad's car.
Richard Springer's car is also a mess. I'm sure he'll be done as well.
Yeah, he towed back and he's out of the cockpit. So it looks like that's going to be into both of their nights. That's a break for Sidarius Jackson if they're losing the pack, and also a break for Alec Martinez, as he was one of the 3 drivers that was black flag for not making an attempt at a qualifying lap, and he will be the free pass car, I believe.
So after 10 laps, Caden Honeycutt is your leader, followed by Tommy Bordeaux, the pole sitter, Matthew Kleinsman, Mike Lemon, and Sean Kerr, the rookies, in 5th.
I'm looking, it looks like Gary Weaver as well as Ben Izinga got some minor damage driving through that incident. See if anybody makes a move to pit road here. So far, well, got some fakers and got some takers. About half the field comes in and the other half stays out. Bordeaux is in, as well as Fleming, Hesgard, Weaver, Dustin Jones, Darius Jackson, and Izinga.
Let's see if we can pull in Wade Husted for a quick interview.
Find him here.
Wade Husted, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Hey guys, I do.
So, just tough racing, or you think there was a little impatience there?
I definitely don't think it was impatience. I could tell that everyone's just kind of racing their own race, but other than that, I just felt like I was driving as straight as I could be, and I just got right hooked. So, kind of unexpected. I mean, I know Richard doesn't do anything like that on purpose. I've loved racing with that guy. It was just more or less a racing incident. Thought it was netcode at first, but it is what it is.
Well, as you know, this is a short track series. This is a preseason race just for some fun and getting to know the new drivers in the series. What are your expectations as we move into a short track Rockingham next week?
I'm definitely going to anticipate hitting the tracks I do have. I don't know if will be at every race, but Rockingham should be a pretty fun one. So I think most people do have that track. It's pretty racy and really bumpy, which makes it a lot of fun for the drivers out on the track. So the series is going to be pretty fun. There's a mixed bag of drivers from all the 3 series that we've had so far this year, and it should be pretty darn exciting. I see some new faces tonight, so I'm really anxious to see what these guys do with this series that we have.
Alrighty, man. Sounds good. Sorry your night is over. Hope you stick around and get to watch the exciting finish that we should have.
Yeah, I hear you guys. Thank you. I'll be watching on my phone.
Alrighty, have a good night.
You too.
Well, not only was that costing a break for Alec Martinez and Darius Jackson, but race control Eric Weatherholtz has decided to wave around Bill Edwards and Spencer Tart, so they will be back on the lead lap as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is a non-point event. Nobody likes to be a lap down, so that's good for them. They get to get back in it, get to fight for position, and fight for a win.
Interesting to see what everybody else, the guys that pitted, being Bordeaux, or being Bordeaux, Lemon, Jones, Asgard, some of those guys, if they're be able to, how quick they'll be able to move back from the back to the front.
So it looks like we will have 13 cars on the lead lap once we go green again, with about 25 laps remaining in this race.
And like we said, like that wreck happened right at the front of the pack, so I mean, we should be very fortunate that there are still 13 cars on the lead lap, because that could have taken out most everybody.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that won't be the last of the wrecks tonight.
Yeah, probably not, because we see Jackson and Tart come back on the pit road. Looks like Spencer has some right front damage, it looks like.
Yeah, he definitely has a crinkle in the nose. I don't know if he got it in that wreck or if that was another isolated incident.
I would think it was probably something else, because he was one of those guys that were a lap down and completely isolated from that lead pack, so not sure if someone got the word that the caution was out and he couldn't check up in time, but I'm not sure how that happened. We're half a lap away from the restart. It'll be 27 to go when we get the restart. Top 10 is Honeycutt, Kleinschmidt, Kerr, Bordeaux, Jones, Lemon, Weaver, Izinga, Hesgard, and Martinez. Actually, Spencer has just disconnected, so make that just 12 cars remaining.
Alright, here we go. The pace car will be ducking off.
Oh! What's that all about? Sean Kerr got in the back of Caden Honeycutt before the pace car even dropped off the track. And here's the green.
Nice job by Caden Honeycutt. However, the one of Sean Kerr is not on his back bumper. That might give the outside line a chance.
Although Mike Lemon, he dropped down out of that outside lane. It's like they're getting some momentum now. And Sean Kerr, look, he looks like he wants to move to the high side.
Speaking of moving to the outside, the 72 of Gary Weaver has moved to the outside, and he's going to be looking to work with Tommy Bordeaux and Matthew Kleinsmith.
Sean Kerr, that car does not appear to be handling very well as he keeps moving up off the bottom. Looks like someone is blinking back in the pack a little bit. I think that Martinez.
Yeah, that could be why he had pitted early in the race because of connection issues. Hopefully it'll settle down. We'll keep an eye on it. And Sean Kerr is pushing Caden Honeycutt out front, and they might be able to clear the outside line.
Yes, it looks like, I mean, Sean really looks kind of antsy behind Caden. It really looks like he's trying to push himself clear of Matt Kleinsmith so he can make a move to the outside, but he hasn't been able to yet.
As we As we ride along board Tommy Bordeaux in the gyro cam, let's take about half a lap to see how much banking is truly in Daytona International Speedway.
That's pretty cool right there. 31-degree banking in the corners. Gotta drop off as they come out. And it tries to give Matt Kleinsmith the push he needs. And you can see how different it is even in the trial. That's still 18 degrees of making through there. Oh, as Sean Kerr again drifts off the almost gets into the left side of Bordeaux. Looks like the outside line is trying to get some energy formed up as Kleinsmith is clear of Honeycutt.
Looks like Caden Honeycutt has rear end damage. That might have been from when Sean hit him earlier before the green flag drop. But yeah, Sean definitely has his hands full. He seems to be all over the track, but he is letting off, so he's not going to be turning Caden Honeycutt anytime soon, which is a good thing. But Matthew Kleinsmith gets past Caden and drops low. I believe the inside line is where you're going to want to be.
Yeah, I agree. Now those guys are going to try to pop out to the outside lane to make the pass, but then once they're clear, they're going to drop right down in front of the guy that's on the low side. As Caden looks like he's shoving Kleinsmith into the corner.
Yeah, he was all over the back bumper. As we go into the gearbox camera, you can see just how close that nose of Caden Honeycutt is to Matthew Kleinsmith.
You know one thing about Caden, he does not like to run second, or basically anything besides in the lead. Doesn't matter what track or what car it is. Here comes that outside line, where it looks like they're making it 3 wide up front.
Yeah, they're taking it 3 wide on Tommy Bordeaux. This might be trouble for Tommy. He might get sucked back to 6th or 7th place. Nope, they stay 3 wide as they come to the line.
That's tight right there for that car. It's tough to like 3 wide, but they're making it work.
Ooh, the slightest inch can be cause for disaster. It's amazing how much these cars move at this speed.
Now, Royals going to get some help as Hayden moved up to the middle lane, and they're going to push back the line to the lead. Well, here comes Dustin Jones. Trying to make the third lane work to help from Izenga.
That's
Great racing. Leads this lap. Looks like it's going to be Dustin Jones. Remember, he had a 3rd place finish in the Grand National of July Daytona race.
looks like the one of Sean Kerr dropped back a little. The inside lines deteriorated a little, but that allows that middle line to separate, and now we're back to 2 wide racing.
We just passed the halfway point. Schmidt gets the push from Honeycutt on the bottom. Well, there's Sean Kerr unable to get contact. Dustin Jones. Ben Izenga gets forced into the wall.
It looks like we stay green.
Stay green.
Ben Izenga.
It's a tough place to negotiate.
Looks like he might be trying to. Oh, he towed it to the pit. It looks like his night will be done.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Izenga, but boy, good job though by Dustin Jones to keep that car from spinning into the middle of the pack. He's still digging these back. First car on the outside, about 6th or 7th.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get back up there by himself on the outside, but he does have Tommy Bordeaux, who's been up front all race, who might move up to help him.
I don't really see all that much damage to Jones' car, so he might have got away with him there. Bordeaux looks like here he comes to jump up on the outside to get behind Jones and push him up there. Sean Kerr jumps in front of Jones. We saw that line beginning to move.
And that opens the door for Gary Weaver to move behind Mike Lemon, as well as Ryan Hesgar.
Gary Weaver, he still has some front damage after that earlier wreck with Wade Hustad and Richard Springer, but being in the draft kind of hides that damage. Sometimes you can keep the draft and stay up in the middle of the pack. Probably, I'm not sure how much effective he will be at leading, though, if he does make a charge from the lead, but he can stay in the middle of the pack. It looks like Richard Springer is actually coming back out to rejoin this race. He'll be at 11 laps down, but still wanting to be a part of it.
Sean Kerr looks like he wants to get around Caden Honeycutt. He's not sure if Dustin Jones will follow.
Side Darius Jackson at the back of that group. Five cars on the outside and 6 on the inside.
Yeah, Sidarius Jackson caught that break after losing the draft. Once that first caution came out, he's now back with the lead pack, so that was lucky for him. Now I think he's waiting patiently. He's not trying to push it. He knows there's still 15 laps to go.
Yeah, he knows that carnage might be on the horizon here as he moves down to the inside line. clear of Caden Honeycutt if he wants to move up, but he looks content to push Kleinsman at the moment. The outside line just keeps getting separated a little bit as Kerr looks like he's having some more handling issues and he's unable to stay right on the bumper of Honeycutt. Alec Martinez at the back of this group looks like his connection has settled down. And again, he might just be riding.
It looks like the outside line is starting to form up again. They're going to need to get it together if they're going to make a move and get past the inside line. Matthew Kleinsman's holding that yellow line very well. He's going to be tough to get around.
I'm curious to see what Mike Lemon does because he looked like he kind of peeked to the outside for a minute but decided to stay in line. Dustin Jones looks like he's trying to get on. Oh, there they go. Contact. There goes Kerr. Upside down. Martinez gets collected as well. They stay green though.
Nope, there's the caution.
Caution is out.
Oh man, that was a big wreck for maybe 5 cars involved. Let's see if we can get a replay.
Trying to move to the outside by Sean Kerr, and it just came together.
Looks like Siderius Jackson was involved as well.
Oh, looks like Kerr actually, he made a move towards the right off the bumper of Honeycutt. Martinez, he just got clipped from the right rear, but looking at Darius's car, got a little nick up on the right front, but not as much as it could have been. Considering he was kind of right in the grill of one of those cars, so I think he can still be competitive. What this is going to set up is about an 8 or 9 lap shootout. Doubtful that anybody's going to come to pit road at this point.
Well, they do have that 8 tire limit, and I believe most of them used 4, so they do have 4 remaining if they wanted to use it.
No, he fakes, but Honeycutt is in.
Tommy Bordeaux is in, Siderius Jackson, Alec Martinez, and Sean Kerr are all in pits.
Yeah, Sean Kerr, his night is over, unfortunately. He had to tow back. Anyway, here, that's what happened. The broadcast booth again. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, I mean, you were giving it a great run out there, and was 12 laps away from perhaps first DRL win in your debut, but wasn't meant to be. What happened out there?
I'm not really sure. Somebody wanted to go 3 wide with 12 laps down, and I can't really. When I turn, it's not like on a dime. When I can't see right in front of me when I'm behind somebody, it's kind of hard to hold a line because I can't see the track. So I kind of drifted up, I guess, and then I hit the guy right beside me who's on my rear quarter panel and just flipped, I guess.
That's what it looked like from our vantage point, that Dustin Jones made a move to make it 3 wide up there and just You guys just came together. Of the 28 laps you got to run with these guys, feeling confident to be around these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I was nervous because it's hard to hold a line, like I said, to when you're literally on someone's bumper. But I did feel confident. Just the the events just kind of just were against me, I guess.
Well, the good news is this was not for points. This was just for fun, so no harm, no foul. What do you think about next week at Rockingham, the first points race of the season?
I don't really know that track, like, at all, so I'm gonna have to put some practice in for that track at some point. But I knew Daytona, so I didn't really practice at all. But it is what it is. But I'll put some practice in on Rockingham and see what I can do. I'm not good at all when it comes to short tracks. I really suck at them, so I'll just do my best. That's what I can do.
Again, we welcome you to the league, and we're excited to see how you can grow and get better at the short tracks, and we'll see you next week.
Alright, I'll see you next week.
That leaves us with 10 cars on the lead lap. Dustin Jones has quite a bit of damage, although he is still on the lead lap. He's not going to give up. Darius Jackson looks like he's got his damage repaired. He didn't get much, not nearly as much as I thought he would. And let's see if they give him one to go this time. And lights go off, so this will be an 8-lap shootout to decide the finish here.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting with 10 cars on the lead lap. Everyone's going to be pushing. I don't think there's going to be much letting off. Darius Jackson managed to get what looks like all of his damage fixed, and he is currently in 8th. Look for him to make a move up front.
And Alec Martinez likewise. All he pretty much did was just get clipped in the right rear a little bit and spun sideways, but he got away with it a little bit because that could have been a lot worse. Got two S2R teammates in row 2, Ryan Hesgard and Bill Edwards.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about them tonight. They've been hanging out in the back, avoiding the trouble. It looks like Bill Edwards might have a little damage on the rear bumper, probably from getting pushed, but the noses are clean, and they're going to be making a move for that lead.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is you got to have the nose clean. I mean, it's okay to have the back bumper tore up a little bit, but the nose is the most important part. As the pace car is about to drop down onto pit road, it's going to be an 8-lap shootout, and there's the green.
Looks like the outside line got a little separate between Bill and Mike. The inside line looks to be pretty lined up. Mike and Ryan are now side by side as they enter turn 1.
Now we're going to see what kind of move Hesgard can make, because he's been riding in the back of the field this whole entire race, and he hasn't really shown what he can do yet.
And his teammate Bill Edwards is leading that outside line, so Ryan's going to be moving
Very
up.
good. He hops up in front of him. Let's see if they can push past Kleinsmith for the lead. A couple of cars dropping back from this field with damage. And there goes Ryan Hesgard. He and his S2R teammate Edwards hook up and go to the front with 7 laps to go.
And there's
And they've
Caden
got
Honeycutt.
and Jackson behind them.
Yeah, exactly. And Caden Honeycutt's definitely an aggressive driver, and he's going to be looking to get to the front just as much as those two.
Yeah, he might try to make that third line work. He's alongside Edwards. See what Jackson could do to push him while they kind of fall back in line. Ooh, Kleinschmidt drifted off the bottom just a little bit. Edwards shoving Hesgar into the trial. What a push that was.
Tommy Bordeaux's not quite up to the back bumper. That inside line might be falling apart. If Caden Honeycutt can give Bill Edwards a push, that would propel Ryan Hesgar clear of the 59.
It's basically a 7-car battle here as Kleinschmidt really hard side draft right there on Hesgar. Again, Mike Lemon not quite on the bumper of Kleinschmidt as he probably needs to be.
They're nose to nose as they cross the line.
5 laps to go. Hesgar led that lap by 8 thousandths of a second. Here comes Honeycutt up on
Honeycutt and Jackson, they're going to be 3 wide. Siderius looks like he doesn't know if he wants to go with Honeycutt or not.
Now Bordeaux looks like he moves to the outside. He's not really sure where to go either.
Oh, and there goes Siderius.
Caution is out. I believe that will be the race, as this will be 4 laps to go. I'm going to take the caution.
Let's take a look at the replay. I believe Jackson was low and Caden might have come down a little bit. We'll take a look at it here. Jackson was low. It's tough to tell. It might have just been a bump in the corner.
Yeah, looks like he just got him on the left rear.
But Honeycutt was able to keep it off the wall, but he does have some damage.
Yeah, that was a really good job by Honeycutt and by Jackson. But I mean, the damage is done really to their cars, but to their chances of winning this race. As it appears that Matt Kleinschmidt might have been out front at the time of the caution. So if this race does not get back under green, he will be the winner.
If it's
That's
2 to
3
go, they will have a 1-lap shootout. If it's 2 laps to green, that is.
If we have a 1-lap shootout, it'll be insane.
I don't believe they can get up to full speed, so that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, that usually leads to more conflict than it does to... Oh, it's Caden... I'm not really sure where he's going. Looks like he's just pulling off to the inside and calling it a night. Yep, he's already disconnected.
So if the race is over, it will be Matthew Kleinsman, Ryan Hesgar, Bill Edwards, Mike Lemon, and Siderius Jackson, your top 5.
Yeah, it was interesting that actually scored Jackson, although he got pretty sideways trying to stay off of Caden Honeycutt, that he'll give him that iRacing will score him in 5th position. Well, this is the telltale sign right here, whether or not the pace car lights go off or stay on. And they are staying on, so this race will end under caution, and Matt Kleinschmidt will take the win. As Ryan Hesgaard comes up behind him with a little congratulatory bump.
Well, that was a pretty good race, and hopefully these guys enjoyed it, and we will be going to short tracks starting next week.
Yeah, with going to 100 laps at Rockingham, and then the following week going to Southern National Motorsports Park for 185 laps. And if you guys check out our website, all the driver rosters and schedules and point standings, they're all up there. Just go to dynastyracingleague.com to get all you need to know about this series. And if you're interested and not yet a member of this league and are looking for one, we're still taking applications. We're never really not taking applications, so if you're interested, come join us.
And the next broadcast on DRL TV will be the Dynasty Racing League iRacing Cup Series at Martinsville. This is the start of the next round in the playoffs. Who will be the 4 drivers heading to Homestead? Find out on Tuesday at 9:25 p.m. Eastern Time.
And that'll be a good one. Only 8 remaining.
If it's anything like the race today in real life, it's going to be exciting.
That's going to be insane.
And we are finally on the final lap here at Daytona. Matthew Kleinsman will be your winner. Let's see if we can start doing the interviews now, if we can find Matthew Kleinsman.
See him down in Bad Boys. Oh, actually, Harry is in Bad Boys Racing. Hey Matt, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah.
Well,
That
Matt,
was quite a race between you and Hesgaard there. How close do you think it was when we saw the caution come out? Were you unsure whether or not Hesgaard was ahead, or if you were ahead, or?
Yeah, I didn't have a clue who was ahead. I kind of glanced at the relative. It showed me in second, but I guess I had just gotten around him. It was a fun little race.
Yeah, it was cool to see. If this race did go back green for a 1-lap shootout, did you think that you'd be able to hold them off?
I don't know. They had a group of teammates in the race. I didn't have any. I don't know how it would have worked out, but it would have been fun to have a 1-lap shootout.
Although this race isn't really a points event, it's still always fun to get a win at Daytona, I'm sure. But how do you feel about going to Rockingham next week, knowing that you got the 8 tire limit rule in place?
Well, that'll be interesting to see how people manage their tires, because that track's a little rough on tires, and I'm not very good at the track, but we'll go there and see what happens.
How do you think for Matt there, James?
yeah, Matthew, congrats on the win, man. I know this will be the only track longer than a mile, so we'll see how you do on the short tracks. Do you have any shout-outs you would like to give?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast and all the admins that put the series on, and everybody in here that came out tonight. did a pretty good job racing.
Alrighty, sounds good. We'll see you on Wednesday for the Truck Series at Martinsville. Other than that, we'll see you next week at Rockingham. Do you have any thoughts on Rockingham?
Yeah, it'll be a good race. I like these cars, so we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, sounds good. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Yeah, let me scroll down to S2R and bring in our second place finisher, Ryan Hesgard.
Yep, as we watch Matthew Kleinsmith burn it down in the grass.
Hey, Mr. Hesgard, it's Taylor and James in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Well, you were hanging around in the back for the first little while, and then when it got time to go, you were going to the front with help from Bill, but just was at the wrong end of when the caution came out. But still a great race for you. Finishing second. How wild was it out there?
The beginning of the race was kind of, I don't want to say it was too sketchy, but there was a few opportunities where a big wreck could have occurred. Luckily, it didn't, and we knew we had speed working together, hanging back, and we just kept getting a run right back up to the pack, so we knew we'd be all right. When Bill and I got to the outside line and we were in the front two cars, I had an opportunity to jump down, and I didn't want to leave my teammate hanging out, so if I knew the outside lane wasn't going to work that well, I probably would have just jumped down and seen where we could have went, but we'll take second and third for the pre-race. Hopefully we can keep up the momentum that we do have into the Pro Series.
Yeah, we and James and Matt, quite frankly, when we were interviewing him, we weren't exactly sure who exactly was going to be scored as the leader, because that was pretty close. But thoughts on Rockingham next week?
I don't mind Rockingham. My main focus is on the Grand National and the Chase right now, so I'm sure we'll get some Texas practice in, and then if we have some free time, we'll throw in Rockingham. We're more or less doing this to keep our winter schedule busy and not get caught behind the 8 ball here, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not, I've only ran 1 or 2 races there ever, so not very high expectations.
Yeah, I'm going to need some practice there for our Grand National race there, too. James, got anything for Mr. Hesgard?
No, I think you about covered it. I knew, Ryan, that you were going to be a contender for this win, and you came up just short, but you and Bill were definitely coming strong. Rockingham's going to be fun to watch you race on that bumpy surface, and we do have the off week in the Grand National Series, but Texas is definitely going to be a favorite for you, and I can't wait to see how you do.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna shift most of our focus on that this week, and then just because we do have that off week, so we're gonna have that extra time to practice a little bit. We don't have to worry about Martinsville. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get locked into the Final Four. Otherwise, we just need a good finish, because last week did not go our way.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
And our third place finisher, Mr. Bill Edwards.
I got him here. He's also in his word. Come on. Here, I got him. Yeah, Bill Edwards is the Bruce. You got a copy, sir?
I'm here.
Well, that was a pretty fun race out there. You came from the back, you and Ryan did, to make a charge at Kleinschmidt. If it went green, did you feel confident if you were going to make a last lap move or anything that you could pull it off?
Oh, yeah. We were going around him eventually. I know Caden kept kind of popping out, trying to go 3 wide and trying to get around us. Eventually, I think if he wouldn't have spun out there, he would have realized that he was going to have to gonna have to get in behind me, and then I would have pushed him up. I was hoping to get a 1-2 between the two of us, and I was planning on sticking on that outside line once I pushed him out there. It still worked out pretty good. We had a good race, and it was quite a bit of fun.
Yeah, it was certainly fun to watch. I know your focus is on the Grand National side coming up at Texas next week. We're off this week. How are you feeling about Rockingham next Sunday?
Oh, I've never raced there, so we're gonna find out.
Yeah, well, there you have it.
Yeah, that's one of those I'm gonna have to put a little time in and figure it out. But by the time race time comes around, I'll.
James, you got anything for him?
No, just one question. I saw that you were hanging out in the back most of the race. Was that the strategy you and Hesgard had, or were you just having trouble getting the draft?
Nope. That was the plan the whole time. I know I got a UL at the beginning there because I was sitting on pit road. I thought I had a little bit more time before I could cross, but we were planning on sitting in the back, and we're gonna ride around. Eventually, wait till 10 or 15 to go, and then make our charge. So that was the strategy.
Alright, sounds good. Is there any shout outs you would like to give before we let you go?
Yeah. Yep. I gotta thank S2R, DRL. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and I can't wait to watch it. It should be. Then also, one more thing here. My daughter's got something to say.
Hi, everybody.
Alright, well, have a good night, sir, and we'll see you in a couple days.
Alright, thanks a lot, guys.
That's cute. When Mike Lemon, fourth place finisher. I see him here. He was up there.
He's in Do Not Disturb. We'll see if he's at his mic.
Let's try. Hey, Mike Lemon, it's the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, you and that beautiful-looking Casey Atwood car started fourth and finished fourth. You were pretty much on the bottom most of the race, but what kind of push did you need to make a move for the win if you could?
Well, I've rode around here many times, and I just figured riding around the bottom I could get away from trouble when I needed to, and I was just kind of riding around for the last couple laps and thought if there was an opportunity to make a move, I would do it then.
Well, you certainly did a good job tonight. Which race are you looking forward to next week between Rockingham on Sunday and Texas for the Grand National cars on Monday?
Yeah, probably Texas, just because I've run there more. Richmond, though, well, I think Texas will be better for me, though.
Yeah, after that third place run you had last week, set yourself up for possibly making the Final Four.
Well, I was kind of disappointed last week, actually. The third place was a fluke because a couple guys wrecked. So I'm going to come more prepared for Texas and hopefully be able to contend for something. I'm sick of the two-car going by me in the last couple laps.
Yeah, you and me both, man. But in all hindsight, I mean, it should be an exciting race next week. Got any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Well, just it's fun being here. I'm having a blast, and thanks for broadcasting.
No problem, man. Get you some practice at Texas and Rockingham. If you decide to show up next week, and we'll see you.
Yeah, that's for sure. You will.
Have
All
a
right,
good one.
night, man.
And finally, our 5th place finisher of tonight is Siderius Jackson.
Yeah, he had quite a wild race.
Yeah, he had an up and down race for sure.
Hey, Siderius, it's the booth again. You got us?
10-4.
Well, you sure had quite an up and down race. Losing the draft early, then barely surviving the wreck with Sean Kerr off of turn 2. But what happened with you and Caden in those final laps there?
We agreed to try to go to the front in the last couple of laps together, and we're trying to make it through wide. But you know, when you bump these cars, it's kind of real sensitive, and spun them out. Unfortunately, was hoping to go green and try to get a good finish, but oh well, just plate racing.
Yeah, it's just kind of the nature of the beast sometimes. You did finish 5th, although you were kind of sideways for a while. I guess the algorithm for when iRacing freezes the field kind of gave you 5th. But how are you feeling about the round of 8 starting for Martinsville on Wednesday in the Truck Series?
I'm looking forward to it. I love Martinsville. You know, I like flat tracks in general, and so looking forward to racing there. I know next Sunday on the Pro Series at Rockingham. I suck at Rockingham, so I get some track time put in before that. But all in all, just looking just to have fun, really.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, some of the other guys we brought in here, they seem a little bit apprehensive about Rockingham too. So you're not really alone there, but.
Yeah, really gonna be tough on tires, and the 8-tire rule. Gonna be strategized. Be really cautious about how you're gonna rest your tires, and yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the main story, I bet. You got any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go tonight?
Shout out to you, Taylor, and James for broadcasting, and shout out to Eric for being admin today, and the other competitors for showing up today, and it was fun race.
Yeah, Bob, was a fun race to put on. Excited to see what you can do Wednesday night, and we'll see you then.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, well that was our top 5 finishes this evening. Our unofficial results are as followed. Your winner, Matthew Kleinsman, led 20 laps, the most laps of the race today. Ryan Hesgard finished 2nd with 3 laps led. Bill Edwards was 3rd. Mike Lemon was 4th. Siderius Jackson rounded out the top 5. Tommy Bordeaux, 6th place. Alec Martinez in 7th. Gary Weaver, rookie to Dynasty Racing League, finishes 8th. A strong run for him. Dustin Jones is 9th with 1 lap led. And Caden Honeycutt rounded out the top 10, leading 10 laps in the number 10. 11th place, Ben Izenga. Sean Kerr, another rookie, 12th. Richard Springer leading 2 laps, finished 13th. Spencer Tartan 14th, and Wade Hustad was 15th, our final driver of tonight's event.
A very unusual position for Wade to be in, that's for sure. Our next broadcast is going to be at Martinsville
for the
on
Cup
Tuesday
Series.
night, 9 o'clock.
That should be fun on short track racing with some of the best this league has to offer. The next race will be at Rockingham, the first race, points race of this season. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be more of a challenge than tonight, so hopefully these guys put some work in this week and put on a good show.
Yeah, overall I thought tonight's race was pretty good. We saw a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing. Couple wrecks you knew were going to happen, but it was exciting. I wish the finish was green, but congrats to our winner, Matthew Kleinsman, no less. Well-deserved win. As we go to credits, thank you to James Pandoff, Tater Bowman, who put on this great league. Tater Bowman is financial. Graphics are done by Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez. Technical support is Jordan Gonzalez and Martin Wenzel. Marketing for the league is Tater Bowman. Our broadcast crew is David Warborn Jr., Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, Ryan Branch, Jason Taylor, and James Pandoff. Administration for Dynasty Racing League is Tater Bowman, David Warborn Jr., Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, and James Pandoff. Thank you to the great admins and race controls for this league. Cup Series, Tater Bowman. Grand National Series, Martin Wenzel. Truck Series, Getty Buckner. Pro Series, James Pandoff. Eric Weatherholt is race control. The Winter Series Oval will be James Pandoff, and the Winter Series Road is Getty Buckner. We do not have any point standings, as this was a non-point event, but thank you all for tuning in. This is Dynasty Racing League TV, and we'll see you on Tuesday again for the Cup Series race at Martinsville. Thank you.